Hey everyone, and welcome back to Game 2 of Kansas City GT here on Master Site. We have our matchup against Northern Alliance with our Ratkin Slaves, and we'll be playing Josh Laffoon. Josh and I played earlier actually at Lady of the Lake when I was playing Kingdoms of Men. He was playing the Northern Alliance, the new 2023 version when it dropped back then. So he switched up his list a little bit since then, but it's still the 2023 Northern Alliance. So let's go ahead and hop into the list, and then we'll go into the game. So for his list, he's got a horde of Naiad ensnares with spears, 2 pack hunter troops, a regiment of Icekin hunters, 2 regular regiments of tribesmen, and then 2 Hearthguard slash Huskarl upgraded with Tundra Fighter on both of those guys. He then has a horde of Frostfangs with Tundra Fighter and Meat of Madness, 2 Bolt Throwers, Thane with Inspiring and Rally. He has Clarion and Harim, so that brings him out to 14 drops, 25 unit strength. So, pretty solid list all around. He definitely has enough shooting that we're not happy, but yeah, it's less shooting than the Salamanders, so hopefully it'll go better here. So there is Josh again, and he doesn't have his son around, Maverick, to distract him this time, as we did at Lady of the Lake. So not getting the assist today. Gotta try and beat Josh fair and square this time. So, but nothing's fair and square when we have Ratkin. So our scenario we're playing is Dominate. So that red token is the exact center of the board here. Unique terrain here, but pretty much these lava mats are forests. Then we got impassable, hill, and then there's a fence over there that won't matter, and a fence over here that also won't matter. So pretty open board in general, but I don't mind it so much just because we're gonna run straight forward with as much stuff as we can here. So for deployment wise, he put both of his bolt throwers over in the corner here. He has regular regiment of the tribesmen, Clarion Huskarls. Then he has pack hunter with another regiment of tribesmen and Harim. He then has his standard inspiring rally guy behind this pack hunter. He's scouted through already with these Icekin hunters. The horde of spears, another Huskarl, and the Frostfangs all the way over here. So my deployment, I put 4 regiments of rats on the front line here. I have Decimator. We then have our Sharpness Tunnel Runners here. Taskmaster on Chariot. And Horde with Hammer Measured Force. We then have our Lightning Bolt Taskmaster here on the hill. We have, let's see here, we have another Taskmaster over here, I believe. Our Cries of Gore Impaler right in the middle. Then we have Golek Skinflare here with the Pathfinder or J-Boot unit, and then the last regiment over there. You'll notice somebody's missing. I I forgot to put down my Ironcaster. I realized it after moving in the first turn or the beginning of the second turn. My deployment for it would have been right in the middle here anyway, so it'll appear come like turn 2. So we, with our deployment, looking at the board overall, seeing these ensnarers here, they're going to be really hard to move. That's just a brick wall. But he put 2 hammers behind it, so I don't really want to even kill it. And I feel like I can definitely kill the stuff on the left flank a lot faster and a lot easier. So my Chrysler Ram was the last thing I put down. I was going to put it over to the right, but I kind of wanted it to help kill stuff over on the left here. There's no good place to put it. I didn't want to really leave it exposed to bolt thrower shots out here, so I put it in the middle here, but I want it to go towards his left flank. So we do win first turn, which is huge. We're going to run forward with everything as fast as we can. So this is what it looks like. Got to suffocate Northern Alliance, so all the rats on the front. The dwarves are huffing it, going as fast as they can. And then the guy on the hill, he has lightning bolt. He's going to shoot at pack hunters because everybody else got off the hill. And there's that iron caster that made it. He was on the front line just like this guy, so they're all speed 4, which is really, really slow. So, and then over on the right, the rats are not in the forest. They just ran up as far as they could, and these guys stick their toe in so we can get some line of sights and some ideas. We do 1 wound with the lightning bolts, and we actually get a waiver on these guys. I think we rolled a 10, and they're rallied, so it normally would have been a break, but the rally makes it a waiver. So Josh's turn 1. He kind of starts staggering his lines a little bit and moves forward like so. So he's got the regiment here, the Huskarls way back here behind. He moved up so he could freeze me and throw some axes at me with Clarion. Clarion has a 9-inch range. He can just automatically freeze somebody. So pretty decent. And his throwing axes with 5 attacks aren't bad, actually. I think he's better with throwing axes than he is in combat. So, but yeah, he moves everything forward a little bit. Reshuffles a little bit over here, moves the horde through so that way they're off the hill and these guys can still shoot over, no big deal. All good stuff. So his shooting, he shot at this regiment with throwing axes, these guys, the bolt throwers, or no, these guys went this way, along with these guys and the ice skin. He did not waver anybody, which is amazing to see. We unwavered rats, they want to go, so we go. But again, we're just delaying over here. We don't really care if we are engaged or not. So I just moved them up within an inch, and that's that. So. But a little closer on the left-hand side. We charge Clarion individual. The idea with that being that we're blocking off this unit and this unit. And we want to die. So we said screw it. And if we charge Clarion, these guys actually have shots over here, and the fireball from this guy can go over here as well. So we decided that we wanted to get some shooting in effectively. I moved forward the dwarves as 4 inches so that they could still shoot. But the big thing positioning wise is I made it to where they can pivot right now to look directly towards the left and then move 4 inches and get out of the way so that the tunnel runners can actually charge through next turn if we need to. So that's the thought. And then otherwise we're just moving forward over here. Skinflayer moved up to get Dread onto this unit while we go ahead and charge Harim to chaff him up. And then we double charge this regiment of non-Huskarls. So with Rampage and everything, we're looking to pick them up. So that's what we want to do. And over on the right, we just move forward pretty aggressively with the slaves over here. We're just wanting to wanting to get them in a position to throw them in if need be. I think I did actually move them too far, though. There's no reason for them to be up that far. So, anyway, might cause some issues. And then we moved up our decimators and the fireball in position so that they can all shoot at the these guys. The what are they called? Ice skin hunters, because they're on the hill and these guys aren't. So he did it so he could get clear shots. Well, I'm getting clear shots back at you. So I shoot a lightning bolt up here though, or maybe I wasn't able to shoot him this turn. Let's double check. Yeah, I wasn't able to shoot him this turn. So because I wasn't able to get in range, I went ahead and shot the lightning bolt over at the pack hunter unit again. We got a waiver twice in a row. All right. We did 1 wound to Clarion with the regiment, and I think we got a waiver over here too. So, all right, we'll take waivers, I guess. It's not like those guys weren't dead anyway. So, but we did nothing to Harim, so that's unfortunate. We'd love to get some wounds on him to start. We do kill the regiment of infantry, overrunning with our regiment of rats, and then just reforming the Gore Impaler so that way he can see all the units over here, and we are in position with our Taskmaster on Chariot to destroy any one of them, which would make room for the Chrysler Ram. So hopefully we get something going our way with this. I feel like this is a good setup. This is where we want to be. And so this is what it looks like, bottom of 2 for Josh. And then this is what he ends up doing. So he opts to flank charge this one here, front charge this one with the what's it called? The Huskarls. He backs up Harim so that he can shoot over top at the Gore Impaler. He focuses everything onto the Gore Impaler here. So these pack hunters in Kryza's Ram being height 5, there's no cover from any of this. So pack hunters can shoot, bolt throwers can shoot, and then the regiment was able to shoot as well. And he picks it up in the shooting phase, which was crazy. The Gore Impaler was a -18. I think he did like 13 wounds to me, so he rolled extremely high this turn of shooting. So, like I said, we really liked our position until the Gore Impaler's dead, and now it's like, well, shit. Okay. He just sidestepped with the Horde, which again boxes the things behind him even more into the corner. So I'm just like, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, we're fine with that. Nothing ended up shooting at these guys this turn, so even though they were damaged, they're not in a bad spot. So yeah, that Gore Impaler dies. Sad. Haven't gotten a good opportunity to do any fun, like, overrunning shenanigans or anything with it. I was really hoping to get something going with it. But, yeah. He does kill the regiment, and between our shots from last turn and it blowing up, he has 7 wounds on this regiment right now. He kills these guys, and I don't know if it's a 5 or something else here. But yeah, this is where we're sitting for our turn 3. And the plan was to run through and charge through. He ends up sidestepping. If he backed up an inch, he would have been out of charge range of the these guys. Forget what they're called. Tunnel runners. But he didn't, so we go ahead and do this. So we move these guys out of the way. They still have front arc here, so we're going to shoot. We got fireball as well. We charged our our Taskmaster straight ahead or around nimble charging to the pack hunters back here. Thought is hopefully we can waver or kill this. We can block this guy up, and then Harim isn't able to fit through, and these guys are at, they're at 2 wounds right now, but we have Dread on them, so the sharpness guys, we're hoping, they should be able to kill the Huskarls and then look in towards the middle of the board, assuming these guys are wavered or killed, so that's our goal. That's what we want to have happen. And when they're already 2 wounds in, a dread bubble, instead of a 15-17, these guys are effectively, they have fury. So instead of a 17 to break, they're effectively a 14 to break. When we have, and we have the sharpness unit, which is definitely a big hammer. 24 attacks on 3s and 3s. We're looking at, we should be doing around 11 or 12 wounds with those guys, so it should be up to snakes basically. So we go ahead and just get in the way over here, charge with the regiment just to get it out of the way so that the horde had a flank. So we'll go ahead and charge with that. Want to start getting some wounds on these guys. They have the regen and the life leech if we're frozen, so want to be able to break through these guys when we break through this flank, which we're gonna, hopefully open it up a little bit this turn, but Harim is really the big one that we need to break through, and we need to then expose these two, or this half of his board needs to have too many choices to pick from, and then we'll just counter what he can't kill. So yeah, if we broke this unit this turn, these 2 hammers would be able to attack back and kill in the next turn, and potentially even again the turn after that while Harim holds up here. So our game plan was we didn't want to kill this unit, and ideally we don't even want to kill it this turn, and this shouldn't kill it. But we want to put it in a position where we can easily, comfortably kill it in the next turn. So that's our goal at this point. And then we moved up our shooting to get in range because, again, this is our target, the defense 3 guys that took out our Gore Impaler this last turn. We're going to just unload on them. Just hit them with everything we got here, boys. Let's go. So our shooting did well over on the left flank. We did kill that regiment between the Fireball 10 and a troop of Decimators. And then our shooting here did extremely well too. So he had a good turn of shooting, and we had one right back. So we pick him up, which is great. We had a scare. We almost didn't pick up the Huskarls. I think we needed a 6 twice. We rolled absolutely abysmal. Like I said, average was like 12 wounds. I think we only did 6 wounds. Maybe 7 wounds. Yeah, it was not great at all, but we did, get the nerve rolls that we needed, so lucky for that. So can't complain too much, but these guys, I would love it if they, didn't make me sweat so much. We did a couple wounds up here, which is about right for this. And I think we got a waiver on this unit again. So we're wavering pack hunters. No big deal. And I don't... Oh, another big thing to call out. I didn't actually charge Harim here. The big reasoning, my positioning with the Taskmaster on Chariot right now is just out of his front arc. So if I charge Harim, he would be able to get a free withdraw and then a flank charge onto my Taskmaster on Chariot the next turn. So I didn't want Harim into this guy. I wanted his only option to be going into the slaves. So that is the reason we did not charge and aren't going to do any damage to him. So a good little tip to be aware of. Don't give your opponent something like that when you could just control them and have them shoot it, attacking here. He could still stand there and just icy breath something, but again, I'm okay with that. The big thing is his only charge option is these guys, but we have a flank looming over him right now with the sharpness tunnel runners, so he has to break that unit, and it's a 14-16 right now with it being rallied. So odds are that giants, even Harim, don't break a regiment of infantry that's undamaged. So this is the overall scene for Josh's turn, and let's dive in. So he just moves forward and is going to shoot with Clarion. He did have a flank with the pack hunters over here, which I wasn't able to see. He had backed him up just behind the hill, I believe, last turn. So he backed off with the wavered unit and then hit the flank here. He went back in, or went into the regiment here. He decided to take a flank with his Huskarls into the horde, and he countercharged forward here. So I forget how much damage. I think I did like maybe 10 damage to him or something, or 9. He had 9 on him total. He only regened a couple, so he has 7 wounds sitting on him right now with the horde. His shooting, he threw the axes, he shot the bolt throwers. This was the one turn of shooting that didn't go well for him, so he only got 3 wounds on the sharpness tunnel runners, so we're in business. And he wavers, does 9 wounds, which is extremely good for Harim, onto a non-slayer affected unit, because he only has d6 plus 10 attacks. So doing 10 wounds is ridiculous, but that's alright. We got wavered. At least we're not dead. He doesn't waver the Taskmaster over here, which is also good. That would potentially hinder our ability to get into Harim this turn. So, but he does pick up the Horde quite easily, and then he sidesteps over with the regiment at this point. And he does kill my regiment. So this is the beginning of my turn. This is what I do. So a little bit closer up. So this was a mistake. The Taskmaster on Chariot went forward. Just out of habit, I was looking. I'm like, I need him out of the way, so I need to move him forward. Well, I could have just countercharged the unit that hit me in the flank, and my butt would have whipped over, and I would have centered up, leaving enough room to hit the flank of Harim still. And this unit is more damaged. Also, charging straight forward here, if I end up killing this unit, I have no good reform. I'm giving up a flank either way. So if I countercharge this pack hunter unit, I have enough room to then reform if I do kill it, to look at the other one, not giving up a free flank. So, mistake on my part. But the important thing is we went ahead and got the flank of Harim. Had to just back straight up here because of the unit that was close by. Couldn't get a free withdraw there. So back straight up to get out of an inch of these guys here. And collide into the flank. We move over trying to shoot Clarion this turn. The rest of our guys are going to shoot into the Huskarls, which took some damage. Let's see if we can see here. 2 damage from the last breath for the unit they killed. And the Horde had taken 3 damage, so they're on 10 wounds right now. And then the big thing was I feel comfortable popping this Horde here because Golok Skinflayer was able to squeak through here, hit the Frostfang Cav this turn. So ideally get some wounds onto him. We got our Dread Bubble in the right spot for the stuff that we really want to kill. We don't have it in a range of Harim. That's unfortunate, but something had to be out. So that is our movement. Our shooting, we do really well with shooting. We end up picking up the Huskarls with all of our shots. So 2 units of decimators, another fireball, lightning bolt, and then I think the other fireball ended up going into him because I didn't do much to the individual. I wanted to make sure I killed the regiment here. So we did a couple wounds from these guys into Clarion. I might have wavered him. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. We do kill the horde of ensnares, and we went ahead and just overran to this position. Big reason was we popped our J-boots already, so we wanted to get out of the forest. So we do kill that pack hunter unit. Yay! And then that reform of shittiness, I just reformed to turn back looking this way. Again, mistake. Need to do the other way next time. And Harim takes 14 wounds in the flank. And we don't break him. So let's do a quick math session here. So 48 attacks from the flank, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. So 48 hitting on 3s. We're looking at, what is that? So 2/3 of those. It's going to be 26 hits. No, it's more than that even. 32 hits. And then wounding on 3, so we should do roughly 20 wounds. 18 to 20 wounds is average. Lots of dice, so larger variant possibility, but 14 is definitely on the low end. And not breaking him really sucks, so luckily we killed the regiment of Huskarls, so we're not as upset, but killing Harim here would have been really, really nice. So Josh's turn. We're getting to pretty much not a whole lot left to do. I did waver Clarion, so so he charges the flank there. He just backs up Clarion. He countercharges the tunnel runners and countercharges there. Pretty straightforward. Oh, and he charged his individual off the hill into the troop of decimators. So, combat, he does kill the skin flare, which isn't a gimme. 15 hits, wounding on 3, so 10 wounds. I mean, he needs a 6 twice, so yeah, that should be fine. But he got it. He does not kill anything else. The bolt throwers. Oh, he kills the pack hunter. Or not pack, with the pack hunters, he kills the taskmaster on chariot back there. So, and I think his shooting had a whiff this turn. The bolt throwers. So, all right. So going into my turn, he had positioned to allow for, it's a hindered charge from the rats, the regiment, but we take it, we get the flank and we get the front. We were not wavered with the chariot, so we go ahead back into him here. We moved up the decimators, shot off the pack hunters back there. And yeah, we countercharged the individual. So, killed Harim, reformed like that, and I believe we end up wavering the Frostfang unit, which is perfectly fine. They don't have fury or anything. So we ended up doing 2 wounds to the character off of our countercharge, and then he came back and killed us on his turn. His shooting shot into these guys, and I believe it wavered them. And then the last turn of the game, I shoot everything at the little guy, and I roll the snake eyes to cap it off, but we do kill the Frostfangs at least. Bottom of the turn for Josh, he picks up the sharpness tunnel runners, and that is the game. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unit strength in the middle, so it's good enough for +2 for the dominate scenario. And I think I got +1 out of attrition, so not bad. 17-point win for the Rats. So, yeah, I mean, everything that we wanted to do, we ended up doing. Josh was definitely, aware, talking about the, positioning mistakes where he definitely, he said it's the first time he's playing the Horde of Ensnares, and he likes them. It's just that he's not used to playing with them. So he definitely had some positioning mistakes where putting the hammers that he had, the Huskarls and the Frostfang behind them, it's just not a good positioning. He needs those guys free to do other stuff. So, but yeah, overall, good game from Josh. I feel like we did a lot better in this game, though. I managed the shooting coming in a lot better. And the path to victory, we identified and kind of stuck to it. A couple of hiccups along the way that we didn't want to see, but we still overcame. So we wanted to kill Harem in the flank. We didn't. We wanted the Gore Impaler not to die the turn that he shot it, but it did. So, but luckily we overcame those things and were able to punch through. So, feeling pretty good. Rats aren't too bad when everybody just runs at each other in the middle, and we just fight right in the middle. Dominates a good scenario for Ratkin slaves, I think. So, but had fun. Again, Josh doesn't have an excuse for his son being there, so we did actually beat him, and it was with Ratkin slaves. So Josh will never be able to live it down. But in all seriousness, had a fun game with you, Josh, and great time hanging out this weekend. So, so we're undefeated with Ratkin Slave still. 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 more game to go for the weekend. So I will see you guys on game 3, and thanks for watching.